Good morning, Year 8. Welcome to our final video lesson of remote learning. Well done, a huge well done, in fact, for all of your amazing hard work. You should all be so proud of yourselves. I know remote learning is hard. I've also found it hard, but we've made it, and I'm very, very excited to see you all at school next week. That doesn't mean that the hard work stops. We need to make sure that we end this week strongly and have 5 out of 5 submissions. Today is our final lesson on the pedestrian. So, could you please copy down the title, date, and the learning objective? As always, pause the video, press play when you've got that copied down. If you're back, that means you're ready to complete the do now. It's a little bit different than usual, but I would like you to write down the statements that are true. We've got 10 sentences on the screen. Read them. Write down the statements that are true. Pause and do that now, please. Okay, if you're back, that means you've got your statements down and you're ready to correct your answers. For today, cross out the answers that you have got wrong and make sure you write the correct answer in purple pen. So, the city at night is abandoned and disconcerting or eerie. Now, this just means that it's kind of strange and frightening at the same time. Leonard has been walking for 10 years, and the voice in the police car does not understand why Leonard is out walking by himself at night. Pause the video and make any purple pen corrections that you need to now. As well, I think it would be useful for you to write a brief definition of the word disconcerting. So once you've written that down, draw a little arrow in your purple pen and write strange and frightening, so you know what that word means and we can refer back to it later. Pause the video and make those corrections now. Okay, if you're back, that means you've got this down and the definition of disconcerting. So today's task is, how does Bradbury present the city? Pause the video and copy that title down now. Okay, and to help us answer this question, we're going to complete a mind map with 10 adjectives to describe the city. So, could you pause the video and just copy the mind map down? Don't complete it yet, come back, and I'll give you an opportunity to do that in a second. So if you're back, you've got the mind map written down. So we need to think of adjectives to describe the city, and I'm going to give you your first one out of the 10. And it's going to be disconcerting. We saw it in the do now. We know that it means strange and frightening. So that is our first one, which means now you only need to do 9. Pause the video and spend about 2 minutes writing 9 more adjectives around your mind map, please. Okay, so you should have your mind map complete, and that's going to give us some ideas for the next task. So whenever we have a question, how does Bradbury present the city? Like this, it's always accompanied by an extract to help us answer the question. Just like last week, there is a document titled The Pedestrian Extract on Show My Homework. What I need you to do in a second is pause the video, follow the instructions on the document to complete the task. When that's done, you can come back to the video. It's very important that you open the document on your computer. It will not work on your phone. You need to open it on the computer. You need to edit the document on your computer, save it so you can submit it later. I'll repeat myself one more time so I'm very clear. You need to open the document on your computer, edit the document on your computer, save it on your computer, and submit it from your computer later. Pause the video and do this now. Okay, if you're back, that means you've opened the document, you've answered the questions, you've saved it, and that's ready to submit to me later. Now, we are going to use that extract to write some analytical paragraphs. So I am going to write one first, and then you are going to write one next. You don't need to do anything right now, you just need to watch me write my paragraph. So as a reminder, this is the structure that I am going to use. And I'm just going to end my slideshow, and I'm going to write my essay directly onto my slideshow. I'm just going to close my emails as well, so none of those pop up. All right, so I'm going to start off with a clear point to answer my question. So I need to ask myself the question, how does Bradbury present the city? So I'm going to write at the start of the text, use the author's name, Bradbury presents the city as ominous and frightening. That's my clear idea done. Now I'm going to look at my extract, which I have open on a separate screen, and I'm going to use that to help me answer my question. So one of the first red boxes on the screen was talking about the word silence, and I'm going to analyse that. So I'm going to firstly explain what's happening when the writer introduces the city. And my tone word, he gloomily describes it as the silence that was the city. Now I could leave it there, but because I'm analysing the repetition of the word silence, I'm going to add another quote that uses the word silence. I'm going to write, and if you walked through it, you would be walking through the silences. That is my embedded quote. Now I need my 3 ideas. So I'm looking at my quotes and I'm thinking, what ideas about the city did they give me? So I'm going to write, this not only shows, if the city is constantly described as silent, it kind of feels a bit lonely. So I'm going to write, this not only shows the loneliness that exists in the city. That's my first idea. Also, if it's always silent and lonely, it kind of feels like it's been abandoned, but further portrays its abandoned state. Oh, I haven't spelled abandoned right there at all. Abandoned state. And finally, if it's abandoned and lonely and silent, it just feels creepy, and it's creepy atmosphere. Do I want to write creepy there? I'm just considering what I want to do. Yeah, we'll do creepy. Okay, now I need to choose a word to analyse. So obviously I'm going to analyse the word silence. I could just write the word silence, but it's repeated, so I can analyse the fact that it's repeated. So I can write the repetition of the word silence. Now I need to link it to one of my ideas. I'm going to link it to the idea of loneliness. The repetition of the word signifies how the city is incredibly lonely. Now I need to explain how the word silence has given me the idea that the city is lonely. I think that the word silent shows that the city is lonely because it feels like no one's around, because it feels like it is almost like dead, and or almost with no life maybe, or nobody to communicate with. So I said that the word silence shows that it's lonely, and I've explained that that is because it feels like it's almost dead and that there's no life or nobody to communicate with. Okay, now I need to analyse my tone. In my embedded quotation, I've used the word gloomily, so I'm going to say, this creates a gloomy tone because I'm going to link it to an idea, and I'm going to link it to the idea that it's abandoned. This creates a gloomy tone because the city feels abandoned and isolated, which is now I'm going to explain how tone, the gloomy tone, links to it being abandoned. I think that it creates a gloomy tone because it feels quite disconcerting. I'm going to use the word that we looked at earlier. So let's have a look at my checklist. I've written a clear point to answer the question. Yep, I've done that there. I've written an embedded quotation. In fact, I've written 2 embedded quotation, which is excellent because it's given me more to analyse. I've done a 3-idea sentence. This not only shows the loneliness that exists, blah, blah, blah. I've done my word analysis of silence, linked it to the idea it's lonely, and then explained it. And then finally, I've done, oh, that's not going to work, is it? Because it's the same colour. How silly. We'll get the red one. I've done my tone analysis. I said that it's a gloomy tone, linked it to my idea about the city being abandoned, and then I've explained it. That is my paragraph complete. So now it is your turn. You're going to use one of your other annotations from the extract to write an analytical paragraph. You are not going to write your paragraph on silence because I've done that. You're going to choose a different annotation from the extract to write your paragraph. Here's a reminder of the structure. It's really, really important that you analyse word and tone and link to the ideas. If it will help you, highlight the ideas in your 3-idea sentence and then highlight where you've linked to that in your word and your tone analysis. That should make it really clear. Okay, pause the video and spend the rest of the lesson completing this task now. Okay, if you're back, that means you're ready to submit your work. As always, make sure the subject looks like this. Please make sure you submit the pedestrian extract document where you've answered the questions in the red boxes and your notes from the lesson. I'll repeat myself. You need to submit the pedestrian extract with the annotated red questions and your work from today with your paragraph. Pause the video, submit that work, and then you can X off and enjoy the rest of your day. Have a lovely weekend, and I look forward to seeing you all next week.